Hello, my name is Ukairo. Today I'm here with my dad.
Hi all, my name is Tony Ukairo.
And I am about to share a journey with my dad. Let's see what we got. We'll be starting with the introduction segment. Okay, I'll go first, I guess.
Okay.
The question says, what word would you use to describe our relationship?
It's a one-word go. I would say best of friends. That's the word I will use. It goes beyond having a blood relationship. Friendship is, as always said, is trust, reliability, and dependability. So what word would you use to describe our relationship and why?
I would say pure, because I know you mentioned friends, best of friends, but I think out of everyone in the world, even including my friends, you're the only person that would be happy with me being better than you.
Okay.
The next segment is childhood and growing up.
You take your deck.
Okay, this question says, how did you feel when we had our conflicts or disagreements?
I would ordinarily feel like you need a little more time to understand that there's value in experience. I usually will understand that there's a generation gap. So I understand that it happened with me too, between myself and my dad. So I would ordinarily give some time and watch for the best time to bring up the issue again.
That's fair enough. I think you go now.
What are some mistakes you think I made as a father, and what did you learn from them?
I feel maybe we didn't really talk too much about emotions and feelings and all that, which is, I guess, normal in an African household. But in a way, that kind of makes me want to try and explore how that would be as a father-son relationship. What has been the most challenging aspect of fatherhood?
The most challenging aspect of fatherhood has actually been worrying so much about health. So I worry about a child being sick and not being able to express what he or she is feeling. So you have to think for the child, you have to communicate to the doctor, and hope that the doctor gets it right. So that said, let me ask you about your childhood.
All right.
Okay, so can you share a favorite childhood memory you have of us together?
It's definitely like when we traveled a lot as kids. There was a lot of vacations to UK, US, South Africa, Ghana, all that. So just being able to explore those cultures with family, I think that was cool. That's a very fun memory of childhood. It's not, I don't think it's something to take for granted as well, you know?
Yeah, don't take it for granted, cost a bit. Don't take it for granted, guys.
This question is, how would you describe me as a child?
Oh, well, yeah, very inquisitive. You like to explore. You like to try out things. You actually had the habit of separating the parts of your toys to find out how they worked. I was always also looking at the cost of the toy, but after a while I got used to it and accepted that, well, that's your own way of finding out or what you wanted to find out, you know. I guess that was how I was too. That's exactly how I got stirred into, you had to be an engineer, you had to be this, you had to be that. So, you know.
It's cool.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. What challenges do you think I faced while raising you?
I feel like you've kind of already answered that, but I could sense the anxieties for safety. Yeah, that's a simple
Okay,
one.
that works. Go on.
This question says, who were your role models growing up? how did they impact your life, and did you want me to be modeled in your image?
I guess like many people was my dad, my parents indeed. They were the two halves of a coin that I actually liked. My dad, because somehow like most children, I will even say every child, I believed he knew everything, he could handle everything, he was always right, he was better than every other person. That was the depth of faith I had in him. And that modeled how I grew up because for him, life is about first education. You had to be educated to the degree that they could afford. We got the message that gave you freedom, that assured you of a good life. You could certainly get employed or employ yourself. I mean, you would earn a living. He also was a deeply religious man. It comes naturally that we have to pray. You don't have to struggle to pray. It's your nature. That's how I grew up. You wake up, you must pray. You walk around, you pray, you have to go to church and all that. So, did I want you to be modeled? No. Interestingly also, as I was growing up also, yeah, you pick things from society and your own personal experiences. So yes, I wanted you to be educated, so you have the insurance of a good life, because that was the logic I grew up with. So to that extent, yes. But beyond that...
Okay, cool. Going to the next segment, that's personal experiences and reflections. What are some values you hoped to instill in me growing up?
Honesty. That's the value that takes you to whatever height you desire. You have most people that will be educated, most people will have the best degrees, most people will have the best knowledge, but honesty is in very short supply. And that's what I hoped to instill in you, and I think I succeeded in doing that.
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Okay, so if that's your question, I'll leave it at that, and then I'll ask you, is there a particular piece of advice from me that has stuck with you?
I think the one that really sticks is to try whatever environment you find yourself or whatever you're trying to do, try to be competent in everything associated with it. That's one thing you say, because even if you're not going to be, maybe if it was in a production setting, if you're not going to be the one holding the camera, still understand how it works, still be competent, because it's always a useful tool towards going through it. So that's one thing I apply.
Okay.
The next segment is emotions and vulnerability.
Is that where you are the only one to ask questions?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. The question says, how do you handle emotions? Have you found it easy or difficult to express your feelings?
It depends on who we are talking about. I'm usually not expressive emotion-wise. I just keep quiet and go with the flow and just hope everybody understands. I wish them well, I'm happy for them, or I love them, or, you know, I'll do my best for them. Yeah. But when it's a challenging moment and person is feeling down, I'm not the best man to sit down and be whining and feeling sorry for you. You come to me, I believe that you've come to me to find some help and solutions. So my mind kicks into, how do we solve this? How do we get going? How do we sift the the reality from just all the use of words and all that, so that we can actually come out from this moment and then probably reflect on it in a much more relaxing situation. So I'm not very expressive when it comes to emotions. Yeah, I'm not that expressive.
That's fair enough. I do understand the point of focusing on solution.
Yeah. So somehow I believe in the power of knowledge and formal knowledge. So, but yeah, I can tell you I'm still going to do that, but I wish I can take back the time I had started it probably 10 years ago, you know. Yeah, that's an advice I'll give everybody. Once you live in a city that has high institution, it doesn't matter what it is. Sign off a diploma, sign off a degree. It expands your scope of thinking. It expands your ability to resolve issues. It actually gets you respect when you talk with people. You know, there are 24 hours, 6 for sleeping, 8 for working formally. Then what do you do with the rest? Find 3 or 4 for studies. You know?
Okay, this question says, how do you envision our relationship growing as we both grow older?
Okay, as we both grow older, the natural progression of life, or other things being equal, is that your responsibility grows as mine diminishes. You're expected to be married, you're expected to, God blessing you, have children, and if you do have children, provide for them. While I go into retirement, do less work, and spend a lot more time on my own with your mom. And so what will happen is we'll spend less time together, as different from now, where it's just you. You can just walk in, you can decide to hang around with me for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Doesn't change anything. You go do work, you come back and all that, but that won't function that way. So we'll be in different spaces. We'll speak more maybe by phone. But then the generation resistance will diminish. You probably see things more from my own point of view as an experienced parent, now that you also have become a parent. And you take advice easier and apply them. Yeah, but there'll be times for intense staying together. If there's a new child, there's omugo. I may show up with your mom to do omugo, and we'll be living together for a couple of weeks. So that's how it is, you know. Eventually, you have to spend your time more with your new family you have created than with your parents. That's what happens.
If you could give me one piece of advice for the future, what would it be?
Keep exploring. Keep exploring. Keep being inquisitive. Keep trying to make new discoveries in the intellectual world, in the professional sphere you have chosen. Yeah, that brings satisfaction. Usually, it brings satisfaction. The fact that you can say, I made some good effort at something, is fulfilling, you know. Then if the outcome turns out to be as I expected, then that's doubly fulfilling. or just keeping at it, you know, is what I'll advise you to do all the time. Make a plan, follow a plan, think through it, make the journey mentally before you get to activate it. Follow the plan. There'll be constraints, but that's why there's the word constraint. You know, we'll go through with it.